Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Leaderpath Show. In this episode, I'm joined by my special guest, Stella Rapti, and we are going to talk about finding your calling. What happens after you found your calling? How do you create a vision around your calling? How do you create a business around your calling? So if you're at a stage in your life, I'm looking for my calling, or I found my calling, but I want a clear vision around it, stay tuned because this episode is going to be very interesting. Stella, I'm going to bring her now on stage. She is the winner of the first ever VisionPath Breakthrough Contest. She's a VisionPath alumni. VisionPath is my program to clarify and craft the powerful vision to create success on your terms in all areas. And we asked the alumni to submit a video story, and my community voted, and Stella's story was voted as the one that most resonated and it was the most inspiring. So without further ado, let me bring Stella to the screen. Hello.
Well, thank you. Hello, Katerina. So nice to be here with you and with all your visionaries. This community you are creating, it's really, really exciting.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you for submitting the story and inspiring so many people. I was telling you before we went live, I was so happy to see how many people voted, how many they were invested in the stories. So thank you. And now we'll unfold the story behind the 3-minute video you submitted.
So thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Amazing. So tell me, you joined VisionPath last June 2023. Where were you at that point in your life?
Well, I was at this point where I thought I had all figured out. I was in my coaching path. This was my calling. This was my vision. I had already decided this back in 2020, July 2020. This was when I quit my job. 27 years of career in the publishing sector in Greece with, women's magazines, print and digital. So I knew I wanted to do coaching. So I was in my coaching path. I had done my certifications. I had my accreditation with ACC. But, as I was going through your program and your curriculum, I was, just maybe I should do this because a vision is something bigger than what I had. So I wanted something bigger. I wanted something more inspiring. I wanted something to push me a little bit more. So this is where I was, having everything figured out. Well, obviously I hadn't everything figured out.
No, it surprised me because usually when I work with the VisionPath participants, people are looking for that calling. And when I heard, like in the first week, you said, I found my calling, I'm happy. Like you were already in a very high frequency of energy. I love it. And the energy, your energy in the program was very inspiring for the rest of the people. So once you were already there, right? You have started doing the steps, found the calling, feeling in high energy, at least that's how I was perceiving you in the program. Then what else was there? Like what was the opportunity from that stage?
Well, it was, first of all, it was the awareness that the calling is not a vision. So for me, that was key because a calling, it's like this thing in your gut, this gut feeling that tells you that you are on the right spot or you're not on the right spot, and you need to follow this, an inner voice leading you. But a vision is structured. It's a sentence, like a bit 2 or 3 or 4 sentences. A vision is in the money sector, is in the business sector, is in your love sector, is in your fun sector. So it's structured, it's more visible, and more attainable, I'd say. Like calling is more abstract, like something leading you. But a vision is something that you see. Like I see my vision board on the door of my fridge every day.
Nice. So what you're saying, and I've heard this with from many VisionPath alumni, many will come from one for the career, and then their biggest benefit is they start having more fun with their family, right? And living there, because I force you to, the process forces you to look at everything holistically, right? And everything, how can I be in harmony and I look at all parts of my life holistically? So
This is true. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And it's this 360 sphere that you are getting into with the program, because it is so well structured. You begin with your biases, you begin with your resistances and your beliefs and your assumptions, and you end up with something tangible. When I say tangible, I mean the vision board first, your feelings and ideas, and this thing that fills up your head and the energy that's inside you. And then there's a plan for you.
nice.
And so there's some accountability
Oh,
into this.
so tell me, where are you now? It's what, 9 months later or 7 months?
Yeah.
Around 7 months later. Where are you now? What are you up to? Tell us where you are now.
Yeah. Thank you for the question, because it's my accountability question. I know why you asked. So I'm in business. I am moving forward with being abundant. I have my mantra about my financials. I am moving. I have set prices. I have a clear template for my offers and my proposals. So I know what to say about my niche. I have prepared it. I have done it in front of a mirror. I have it on script. I have everything. So that's the first thing. I am in this amazing place of fun and pleasure with my kids. I'm spending more time, I'm working less and spending more time in learning and spending time with family. And it's teenage girls, 15 and 17, so they're into this. And in September I am enrolling for my master's in organizational psychology.
Wow.
So it's kind of like having finally for me a plan. And it's not like being driven by some kind of a force who is making the decisions and not me. So I'm making the decisions. I'm in the steering wheel.
That's
So yeah, this is where I am. And I'm looking at my vision board.
nice. And sounds great. What's interesting is you said, "Oh, I had a plan." And I'm saying this because I got questions this week. The card for Vision Path is open. It said, "Do we get an action plan, a personalized action plan?" And I said, "Actually, no, because if you start with the plan, it gets in the way of your vision. That's where many people get stuck, and they cannot do the vision because they're so stuck in the how." And when I work on Vision Path, it's actually park the how for now. Let's focus on the what you want to experience and what you want to create. But my experience, and you're a testament to that, is once you figure out what would light my soul on fire, what do I want to create, what do I want to experience, the plan is easy.
Yeah,
The plan, you
definitely.
just do it. Like it's not something, I didn't force the plan. I forced it. Let's see, what do we want to create, and then the plan is easy when you know what you want, and you trust yourself. You start trusting more yourself and your voice, right?
Yeah, spot on. Definitely, absolutely. And if I can top that, I would say that there is a process, because you amazingly begin with the why. With the why, it's so important to know the purpose and why you are here and why you want to create this. What does this mean for you? What would this mean for you in the future? And then you move into the what, in a great process. And then you move to the how. We are, due to our Western education, we are so conditioned by the how. It's how are we going to solve this? Let's find solutions. Let's jump into the solution of the problem. Actually, one of the great traits of, when you go into an interview and they ask you, oh, I'm a problem solver. But the thing is, before moving to this problem solving process, you need to have the why, you need to have the purpose, and you need to have the right question. What am I solving here? And through what I find amazingly helpful with your workshop were the PDFs and the templates that you shared. So I had to really work on that, right? I had to really take time and reflect on the questions. Like, it's not an easy process.
No. And we never have the time because we're so busy and with the urgent, like there's always stuff to do, right? And the important questions, we always postpone them unless you're very intentionally take. And also, I think it's a defense mechanism because things will come up. As you said, it's not easy. Like, this is the big question. So let me watch Netflix instead. That's our defense mechanism.
Of course, it's defense, but it's exactly that. And I love what you're saying because, the iceberg, it's the 20% what we see, defense mechanism, and the 80% what we do not see. So yes, this defense mechanism says, oh, you're really comfortable in your comfort zone. Why don't you stay in your comfort zone? Why, because actually these questions that you are asking shake things up. They demand answers, and they demand reflection, and they demand time. And this is a bit discomforting in the beginning because, of course, it is, out of your routine and your habits. But this is exactly where growth happens. This is where you grow. This is where you change your mindset from fixed mindset to growth mindset. You blossom.
Yeah. What's also interesting to me from your video is a lot of the times when we change careers, like you did, we think we're beginners, right? Oh, I'm a beginner now in this new field, which is not true because you're bringing all your experience from the other field, right? And I liked what you said, that how this work and other growth work helps you really shine in your new and settle in your new path and really release and help people, right? Because if you're staying small just because for many people that, oh, I just changed, you're not serving your clients and your community. Do you want to talk about that, of the change and how you embody this new self with confidence, even though it's a change?
Thank you for this question, because actually it was a crucial question for me as well. So when I quit my job in 2020, it had already been 27 years. So it was a high-profile job I had, very, very successful. Lots of people told me, "Oh my God, you must have lost it. Oh my God, you're crazy." So, and for me, it was not a transition. This is key. This was not a transition. It was an identity transformation. I had to introduce myself to everyone, actually, but most of all to myself in a new way, which I had no idea how to do. Because when I left, it was without safety net. I didn't have a plan B. I said, this is what I'm doing. I don't want to be grumpy anymore. In this high profile space, and being grumpy, I was feeling ungrateful with what I had. And I was really ungrateful. So making this change, at first, I was feeling liberated and relieved. And so, oh my God, this is, wow, this is how you make a decision. You're on the steering wheel of your life. This is so great. And then I went through all the stages of grief.
Wow.
It was not an easy process. There were times when I was angry with myself because my family really depended on this salary. On our financial situation changed, and I was feeling there was this period where I was feeling guilty. Maybe it was not the right decision, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe I should have had a different timeline. So if you ask me the question, do you regret something? Is there something that you regret or you would have done in a different way? This is what I would have done in a different way, like choose a different timeline, like be a little more structured in my decision and not being too impulsive because I'm just living.
I love that.
But yeah, but this transition is never easy, and I will not lie to anyone who is making these huge leaps. It's never easy, but it's very, very rewarding. It makes you feel alive again, energized, full of passion to do something new. And you go through all the stages of a startup. You are a startup. We are our own startups.
The whole timing, it's so crucial to get it right, because you leave it so too late and you burn out because doing work you don't love. I actually, and this is public, when I left Google, I experienced burnout because I had left it a little bit too late, but I don't regret it because I was waiting for I had a safety net in terms of savings when I left. So I was burned out because I was building the business on the side. I had the plan, but I burned myself out because it's really hard to have a full-time job and the kids and build your hustle on the side. But leave too early. And I tell to many clients, I like, it's hard to jump from the plane if you cannot see the terrain, right? It's going to be a wilder ride if you leave too early, which is what happened to you. But getting the timing right, it's really hard. It's either too late or too early, it looks like, right? To make the jump.
Yeah.
I've never seen, I timed it perfectly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there is a perfect timing. That's my
It's our
thought.
timing, right? What was it for you? Tell me what triggered the decision, if you want to share. It looks like, it was a impulsive decision. And then we'll talk a little bit about what happened before that.
Well, it was not impulsive.
Okay.
It was something that I had been building on my mind for quite some time, because I had the privilege of living this amazing space of fashion and beauty in Greece for so many, many years. It was amazing. It was a party, meeting those beautiful people in Greece and abroad, and traveling and freebies. And, it was so beautiful. Okay. And still having a missing piece. So that was a question mark. That was always a question mark for me. So when things started getting rough from 2011 onwards, financial crisis, and then capital controls in Greece, and then the disruption from print to digital, so many changes in the publishing world, plus COVID, there was misery, things were not, the senior management and all the board were so stressed. They were all in their negative femininity, as Carl Jung would say. They were all, super stressed, and they actually made me decisions that were, they couldn't make sense with me. So I started colliding with them quite a lot. But it is true what they say, that it's not the actual work that is sending people away that's making them, leave their jobs. It's always a bad leader. It's always a bad manager, or at least a mediocre manager. So this was my case. I had my, senior president, CEO, whatever, was really uninspiring. And he was always into the Excels and numbers, and that there were never any people around this. So when he told me that I should become more of Devil Wears Prada, Meryl Streep, like Anna Wintour, said,
Yeah.
you don't know me. I cannot be like that because I'm not. I
Yeah.
cannot be like her. I cannot even pretend to be like Anna Wintour. So I will always be a people's person. He said, you're too soft with people. You're too soft with people. So I kept growing there in the company, but my assessment was always that I was too soft with people. So when I left, I reframed a bit and I told myself that you're number two in this group. So, but you're still good with people. So this is doable. You can do both. You can be both. You can still be good with people and loving and caring and motivating and still be number two. So this is my calling. This is my vision. Like, you know, help support leaders to be both and effective
Love
and
it.
efficient and caring and empathic. So,
Love it.
yes,
And for those of you listening, what I've noticed is the criticism we get in one job, for example, you're too soft, is our superpower in a
yeah,
different job. Because now, as a coach, the fact that you care,
thank you for that.
it's,
Yes,
it's your
amazing.
superpower. It's what will set you apart. And it was the same with me. My feedback, because I was in the UK, it was I was too direct and too honest.
Mm.
And I was in sales, right? They said, you're too direct, too honest. Now it's my superpower as a coach. That's why people pay me for, to be really on. Like, whatever we were criticized, now it's our superpower. And it's great just to embrace who we are and say, okay, if that's not appreciated here, where would it be a superpower?
This is a great reframing, Katerina. Well done for that. Because, one thing that maybe resonates in a certain frame, it doesn't resonate in another. So reframing is always great for us, because what my boss consider as a minus is
Yeah.
my superpower. So I can see it as a superpower. I can always reframe and see it in a positive way,
Yeah.
and maybe efficient for others. Yeah.
I'm seeing another link potentially. You tell me in your journey, like when we have went through something we didn't enjoy it. Like for you, it was not very effective leadership, and now you're going and studying a master's in organizational psychology, and you're supporting leaders to do that. Like how sometimes our pain becomes our purpose. Is that what happened here?
Pain, yes, it was a pain. Actually, okay, this is, I believe my life went a full circle. And I mean, at the age of 16, I knew that I wanted to become a psychologist. I don't know how. I knew I needed to do something in my life with people. It was, so clear for me. I wouldn't study for my exams. I would buy books on psychology. So it was so clear, so clear. But being the only child in a family in Greece, questions started coming like, what are you going to do with your life? What's this psychologist thing? Is it a thing of the public sector? Will you have a steady job? You will have a steady salary, etc. So I didn't study psychology because my parents were extremely, wouldn't agree with the idea. So since I couldn't study what I really wanted to study, what am I going to do in my life? And that was a turning point, because I I started drifting. I said, I'll do whatever is easy for me. So I studied history, I studied languages. It was so easy for me, not so much, not so much effort. And then I went from one job to the other, and then I landed in magazines. My Greek is good, I can write, etc. So no decision, because I lost my purpose. I had
Mm.
lost my thing. This is what I wanted to do. So since I can do it, what else can I do? And it took me almost a lifetime to come back to what I originally wanted to do.
I love this.
And yes, actually, is it, me meeting my 16-year-old self and saying that, okay, Stella, you were right, and this is what you were meant to do all the way. But what you said is really important as well, because all the experience I gathered from the corporate world
Yeah.
is what makes my niche
Yeah.
at this moment. The hyperachievers, the uninspiring environment, the conflicts, the challenging conversations, feedback, feed forward, etc. So I wouldn't be here if I hadn't traveled for so
Yeah.
long.
It's what Steve Jobs said, you connect the dots looking backwards, right? Sometimes we don't think we
Absolutely.
connect. You're connecting the dots now looking backwards. So what happened? How did you refine the purpose after drifting for so long? What was that process? I think our viewers will
Yeah.
find that interesting.
Um, I So I enjoyed the period as much as it lasted for 27 years. Amazing. And when I quit, I thought I would study psychology. Okay. I'm going back to my roots. But coming from a very practical, a business environment, P&Ls and forecasts and projections and moving forward and goal oriented and outcomes oriented. I just wanted something practical, but having to do with people. So this
Mm.
is how I came to coaching, because coaching is all about caring and serving people and supporting them to find their own solutions, but in a very structured, timelined, and tangible
Yeah.
way. So it's all the concept of psychology, if you want, but in a very obvious, tangible, timed, measurable. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. In a very measurable way. So this is how I landed in coaching in
Okay.
2021. Mhm.
So you took the jump, you left the corporate career thinking I'll go back to study. And then the
Yeah.
plan changed, which is also staying agile and present in the moment, right? The plan that was okay when we were 16, because I also was thinking, okay, the only thing that was around it was psychology at the time. But for me, I just couldn't deal with trauma. That's why I didn't go. I was attracted to psychology. And I was like, I cannot see myself like talking to people who went through extreme trauma. Like I was too sensitive. And then when I discovered coaching, I was like, all the goods of psychology minus the trauma, amazing, right? Like
Yeah.
that.
So right. Yeah. Yeah. Totally resonates with me. Yeah. Uh,
Um,
totally resonates with me, even though sometimes, it comes up, no, in coaching, and you need to
yes, and you
direct
hold
your
it.
clients to a specialist, to a therapist,
Exactly.
of course.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely that. Yeah. Agile is an amazing word. I'd say flexible, but yes,
Yeah.
agile is a better word to, to be able to, like be aware of the changes that are happening inside of you, even if you're not aware at that moment, but like taking some time to deep dive and just um, follow yourself through the process. This is not an easy process. I would never say that, oh, okay, go on, live your job, there's a better thing out there for you. No, I cannot say it is a tough decision, but if you have a vision, this makes things a lot more with a perspective. You have a perspective, and you see this is where I want to go. Because in 2020, when I left, I vision. I had no idea, no, much less of a vision. So working on the vision is crucial for me. Crucial.
Yes. I want to invite our viewers now, if they have any questions for Stella, to write them down. Let me see what comments do we have. Great work, Stella. I love your clear communication about your journey. Then we have Taran. I think he's an alum of VisionPath. Great course. It helped me be confident to move out of London, visit an area once, liked it, view 3 houses on the same day, bought one. Yes. And we have people saying that they want to watch this again. So now is your time. Any questions you have for us? Now is your time to write them down. So Stella, what would you advise people that are a little bit in different points of your journey, like people who maybe they left their corporate job and they are in this creative void, or people who have been drifting and they are being attracted to their calling? Let's get your best advice to our viewers that are in similar stages.
Yeah. I'm not really good with advices because I feel that what resonates with me maybe doesn't resonate with other people. People, as you say, they are in different points of this journey. What I would say is like really paying attention to what they feel and like being kind to themselves in the process, not beating themselves up if they have made the right decision or not. Because this is a big part of the story. This is a big part of the process. This beating up. Oh, maybe I should have done it otherwise. Maybe I should have picked a different time. Maybe. But these are all scenarios. These are all thoughts in our minds that create the feelings. Maybe sadness, disappointment, stress, guilt, shame. All these negative feelings. I'd say just be kind with yourself in the process. And one thing my grandma used to say, like, trust life. She knows best. So any decision that you make, it's a gift and opportunity. Any decision. There's a key learning. There's a learning process. There is people you meet, like I know you, right? If I had stayed in the previous job, maybe I would never have met you. So there, and I really want to refer to what you said, which for me was a turning point. You never know what is possible until you go down that road. So that's my advice. You never know what is possible. Take the road and see what is possible with no regrets.
I love it. There's something so valuable that you brought in your story that sometimes we think, oh, I'll follow my calling and then it will be all rainbows and it'll be all, and it's not always like that. And it can be like this grief stages of our old identity. It can be money insecurities when we get into fear, like, so, because it is like sometimes we get into fear, like you might be, especially as an entrepreneur, like all this insecurities or money programming we had will come up to heal it. Actually, it's good that it's coming up, but until we heal it, you can go through a little bit of all the stages of grief. And I think that's valuable to have this part of the story. You know what, things will come up. And
yeah,
how
definitely
be gentle and kind to yourself and regulate your nervous system and get the support you need. Like if you're going into lost the stability you have for 20 years, what support can you get for our viewers? Like you did, like you're doing now the masters, or like what support can you get to hold you into this? I would say when the caterpillar becomes a butterfly, they become soup. I didn't know that. That was when I was transitioning and I heard that story. I was reading to my kids and they said the caterpillar completely dissolves in the cocoon and then reassembles as a butterfly. And I was thinking, oh, so you need a cocoon. How can you transform without the cocoon? You need a holding space, you need support, you need containment, because you are dissolving into a butterfly and then you fly. It's amazing. But the process is the dissolvement.
I love this. I love this metaphor you're using. I love the cocoon metaphor. But what I am hearing in your story is the dissolving process. You need to dissolve. And this is true. When you change identities and you transition into someone new, you actually meet parts of yourself that you never knew you had. Now, I come from a family which were very anti-entrepreneurs. I
Mm.
was brought up in this security system, public sector, safety, holidays, and when you become a mama, you will get your pension soon. All these things. So this is how I was brought up. This is the pattern I followed for many, many years. And when I decided to give up my older self, this is where I met my new self. When I said, I'm becoming an entrepreneur. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm breaking the pattern. I'm
Yeah.
breaking the pattern of the family. So this was very new to me, but it was this dissolving thing. I was melting, and in order to become something new. And as Jung says, there is no transformation without pain. No transformation without pain.
Yep.
And everything is legit. I mean, you need to go through pain in order to be grateful for what you're achieving, what you are creating. You need to go through that process. It's good. It's healing.
Yeah. Yeah. We're like nature. We are meant to evolve, right? Let me see. I have some questions from our viewers.
Okay. Oh,
Um,
looking forward.
how did you stay confident throughout the process of getting clarity? We have this from Facebook. Hello.
Um, well, first of all, thank you for the question. I wasn't always confident. Sadly, there were moments I had lows, not confident at all. My support, as Katerina says, was first my family. I This was really mind blowing for me. I had huge support from my family, and they never said, "Oh, why did you do this?" They never judged me. Never, never. Exactly the contrary. So that was one. Second, I like being in silence. As an only child, I was brought up in silence. So I spent millions of hours, like literally maybe all my life in silence. And it's good for me, it's soothing. Silence soothes me. And third, I meditate a lot. I make time to meditate. It's my plan. I have it in my plan every day. It's not like I'm just saying, oh, let's skip this today. I intentionally meditate. It helps me meet my sage. It's my wiser self.
I love that. I love that because this is very practical and actionable steps that work for you and work for most people. Like, how can I tune into myself? Whether it's your meditation, whatever practice you have, tuning into my wiser self. What's the practice? And it's a non-negotiable. And you say, I'm not going to skip it. This is important to me. And how
Yeah.
can I not be distracted by the noise? Because
Yeah.
there's so much noise in today's world. I
Yeah.
love this.
So much noise.
Yes. So we have people that resonate from your journey. They're not exactly questions, but I'll read them. The transition period has always bugged me, scared me, and affected me physically. Lack of sleep, hair loss, anxiety, and so on. Thank you for sharing. Like, okay.
Thank you. Really, thank you for sharing. I resonate. I really do. I resonate. First of all, it's so human. Of course, this is an unknown territory. This is uncharted waters. You have created, I had created a comfort zone, and I was feeling really great in this comfort zone, even if it was discomfort, right? Because there is comfort in the discomfort. I knew how to deal with it. Whereas when I got into this new thing, everything was new. I mean, um, I was alerted all the time, and I couldn't sleep, and I had, you know, a burden on my. I could feel it. I could embody my stress. And embodying the stress is an alert that it's good. It's good, an alert. There's a red bell there, and you're da 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 da. Please pay attention to yourself. The body says something, send a message to you. So, what can you do to like relax and relieve yourself from all this stress? You meditate. Some people go to the swimming pool. Some people take long walks. Some people listen to music. Some people just stare on the ceiling. It's okay. Everyone has his own thing, and it's okay. But it's always a transition. You go from A to Z, you see?
Yeah. What was the moment that you settled into this new journey? And I know it's an evolving journey. We're always building as entrepreneurs. It's never. But when was the moment you say, "I actually like this"? I'm
Yeah,
like. When was the
great
moment the
question.
butterfly came out of the cocoon?
Great question. Thank you. Thank you. It started resonating a lot when I began my certifications. My first certification was with Jungian coaching, which has a lot to do with psychology. Actually, it's the Jungian psychology in coaching terms and in coaching methodology. So I started having sessions with clients, and I could see their smile. I could see their aha moment. I could see their, oh, let me think about this. And their reflection, their need for reflection. I could feel the pulse of the transforming process. And at the end of our agreements, I receive their feedback, and it's mind blowing. People who came in frustrated, angry, agitated, without a purpose, stuck, or whatever. And actually, maybe they are not, they haven't really found what they were looking for, but they have started being aware of how they react, how they think, how, how, not the why so much, but how. I'm angry and I'm breaking the glass, or I'm shouting at my kids. Oh, taking a step back and think, what am I doing? Like being aware. Awareness for me is key to the whole process. So this is when it started to resonate more with me, and I, feeling the pulse of the people being happier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's something that I want to point out here, that when you start doing work, like solid work that you really enjoy, you start getting really good because you love it, right? You said, I did a first accreditation, and then I did a second accreditation, and I'm doing a master's.
Yeah, that's
But
the
all the
hyperachiever in you.
no, but
Yeah.
this all is not, oh, I have to do this. It's more, oh, I love to learn more. I love my craft. I will, it feels, I assume, like more playful. I love to learn this. I'm fascinated by this. And then you become really good at what you do. And then all the external factors of success comes, like the money and the reputation. They're the byproduct of really doing what you love. You become a master of your craft. You are really providing value for people, and of course they'll tell their friends and their colleagues, and of course you have a successful business. But all starts, people want the success, but they don't know that it has to go through, what do I love? And you always knew, I love people and I like supporting people, and that's why it starts getting easier and easier. Like okay, you need the momentum in the beginning, but then it goes a little bit, the stone goes downhill
Yeah.
if it's your path.
What you say is so beautiful, because this is actually the difference between achieving and creating. Like achieving is you go after a goal on an outcome, and you achieve, and you go to the next one and to the next one and to the next one, like in this, and you become breathless, and just as if you want to prove something, you want to prove your value.
Yep.
Whereas with you know certifications or whatever, with personal development and courses, etc., it's all about you discovering and exploring and discovering new parts of yourself that you had no idea that you had. which is so rewarding. Actually, my husband says, "Oh, come on, another webinar. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's enough, right? That's enough, right?" I say, it's never enough because I'm not tired. I never get tired of coaching people. I never get tired of doing trainings. It's like it's not a job for me. It's like, you know, like offering yourself to the world.
Yep. And just point about your impact. We have a quote here. I admire Stella Rapti so much. It is so
Mhm.
inspiring to hear her story. I'm deeply moved since I'm also trying to transition professionally. Thank you, Orestes, for sharing.
Thank you, Orestes. Thank you for the
Um,
acknowledgement.
so, I wanted to tell our viewers if they want to contact you, work with you, hire you as their coach, where can they find you or read your content? I know you're posting on LinkedIn. Where can they,
Yeah.
is the best way to find you?
Thank you. Thank you for that, Katerina. Yes, I'm really engaging on LinkedIn because it is a platform that really resonates with my content. It resonates with my niche. It resonates with me. I used to be a journalist, right?
Yeah.
So I kind of like creating that kind of content. So people can DM me on LinkedIn. And that's the best way, I think, to engage with my content. And actually tell me if the content resonates, like engage in the conversation.
Yes. And anything else you'd like to say? And I'll tell our viewers that our Vision Path new cohorts, the car, it's open now. We are enrolling the new members now, and it closes in Saturday my morning, Friday
Oh,
the
wow.
evening. Yeah, so it's around 24 more hours of anyone who will be interested to enroll on Vision Path. So
Yeah.
I'm in that stage too. Anything else you'd like to share with our viewers before we
Yes.
say goodbye?
Like I am a huge believer of synchronicity. I believe that things happen for a reason. People, you meet people in your path for a reason, and good or bad, never bad, like actually gives and opportunities. So if you're here, if you're listening, I just want to say that really for me, this program came at the right time to do the right thing. And it really, really helped me to do my next step, mostly in my business, but I mean, like in my personal life as well. It was part of my personal growth. So I really want to thank you, Katerina, for offering this to the world. Yeah.
No, thank you. It was a pleasure to have you in the community and your contagious positive energy. Like I loved
Oh,
and having you in the community.
it's not always like that, but yeah,
Okay, in my experience of you,
maybe
I
it's
had a
contagious. I take it from you.
curiosity question. You won as a Vintage and Path Contest winner this hotel stay. What do you know? Where are you going? Like,
Yeah,
or
maybe
you haven't
Costa
decided?
Rica. I'll come and meet you in Costa Rica.
Oh yes, you want
I
a
don't know.
coaching session as well? We'll do it in person in Costa Rica.
Yeah, that would be great. I'd love to come to Costa Rica anyway. I don't know yet. And when I entered the contest, the reason why I entered the contest was to do the video, because
Hmm.
I was always a backstage person. Even when I was number two, I was a backstage person, like orchestrating, motivating, etc., but always in the backstage, never in front, never on the stage. So I said, there you go. You need to find a way to do the video. So you push yourself to do the video. Yeah, maybe it is what it is. You share your story. There you go and do the video. So thank you for that. Thank you for pushing me out of my comfort zone.
I loved it. And from our other finalists, I heard stories. Thank you for making me realize how far I've come. Because when you're doing the video to say, I was there, now I'm here, you're really estimating, because we're always high achievers. We look forward, but it's so good to see how far you've come. And I had another finalist that say, I actually accepted my dream job. And I think it was because I went through that process. Let me revisit my vision board. I didn't expect all the side effects of this contest, but it
Yeah.
looks just sharing your story. And at some point, I've come a long way, and really sharing your story to inspire other people. I asked you, can you please inspire people to do their vision? That was my briefing. and you delivered. And in delivering, okay, you won the award, but people, it's a process that's beneficial, just telling your story and realizing what the story is.
Definitely. And it's a great thing to say because it's a process. So it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. And you support people in this way and in this bumpy road, because it is bumpy. It can be bumpy, I mean. So you're there for them.
And
So
now it's a lifetime access. So I'm even more excited because I will have you in the community. Like it'll be more of long-term community. It used to be a 6-week program, right? Now people who come in can stay in, can come every year and refresh their vision. So I'm even more excited to create this more long-term community within VisionPath, and you are inside.
oh, definitely count me in. Definitely. I love that. Actually, it's a badge, the visionary.
Oh yeah.
It's so beautiful. It's,
Yes.
it gives you a reason to wake up in the morning and get up for bed and, like go for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And with that note, thank you so much for sharing your story, for being a visionary who inspired so many, for winning the award with your inspirational story, for sharing the challenges and tribulations of that transition. I think you inspired so many of our viewers, and I really thank you.
No, Katerina, I thank you for the opportunity to get out of my usual self and find, discover new paths. And I really hope I, like inspired people to come to the program, because I really believe in the program. Really, I really do.
Let me put the banner.
Yes, of course. Yes, why not? Thank you for having me. Thank you for sharing the story. I never believed I would share this story. So, it's a good feeling.
Yes. Yeah. Take care. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks everyone for attending. Thank you.